Welcome to Evergreen Links for Authors, Part 4. I'm Vanessa Keir. To recap what we talked about in the earlier videos, an evergreen link has two parts. Part 1 is a link that is permanent and goes in the back of your ebook or on your marketing material. This is the link the reader clicks on. Part 2 is the URL behind the permanent link that takes the reader to the place you want them to end up. This is the part that you will change as necessary. For example, you might want to include a link to your latest book on your printed marketing materials. The permanent link will be www.myevergreenlinkbook.com. And then, in 2018, the link might direct you to www.mywebsitebook2018.com, and in 2019 the link might direct you to www.mywebsitebook2019.com. You don't have to reprint your printed material. So why would you want to use YOURLS instead of one of the options that I already talked about? Well, first, it's free to use even with your branded short domain name. And second, you're in control and you don't have to worry about a plugin no longer being compatible with WordPress or a link shortener service shutting down and leaving you with orphan links. Plus, it has great tracking. So, in the example I've been using in this video series, if your book is not yet live at the retailer, you would enter the URL of your book's page on your website, for example, and then here the reader can sign up for your newsletter to get notified when the book is live. In YOURLS, you would assign a custom short URL, such as NWBK, and you can't use capital letters because YOURLS will delete them. YOURLS will create the link by automatically adding the site address where you've installed YOURLS. For me, this is https vkeir.info. So my complete short URL would be vkeir.info/NWBK. Now, we're trying to get, in this example, a link that is as short as possible, but that still gives some information to me when I'm looking at it that I understand what this means. So that's why I use custom short URLs. YOURLS can assign a generated URL for you, but particularly since you probably have a lot of different books and maybe a lot of different retailers that you want to track these things for. Once we log in to my YOURLS dashboard, I will show you a little bit about my naming convention and how I assign different codes so that when I look at the short URL, I have a general idea of what's going on. And also, YOURLS gives you the ability to add and edit a description. For example, I'll use a description that tells me what book the link is for, at what retailer, and where I put the link, Twitter, my website, etc. And this is in addition to some of that information being in my short URL. But this just gives me another handy place to look on my dashboard to understand what the purpose of that link was. Once the book goes live at the retailer, I just have to go into my YOURLS dashboard and edit the long URL to something like amazon.com/new book. Okay, so let's go up to the YOURLS website and take a look at how we would set up this scenario. Okay, so here we are at my YOURLS admin interface dashboard. And if you watched my video on how to add plugins to YOURLS, you will see some of the plugins here under Manage Plugins. And what we are going to pay attention to right now is creating a new mapping. So here, enter the URL. You would enter the full URL of the long URL. So I've used here the example from the other page, and in the custom short URL, I'm going to do the NWBK and then click shorten the URL. Now it gives me a bar up at the top that says this has been added to my database, and then here is my short link, and it added the Veek here info, and then there's this little copy feature where I can click on it to make sure that I can copy it and then paste it wherever I need it to go. And then in the table down here on the left is the short URL. So that's why you want to put something that's going to make sense to you, because all you get are these codes that you created. And then you have the information about the original URL here, the date it was created, the IP address it was created from, and then how many clicks it has had. So once your book is live at the retailer, you can go over and you can click this pencil to do an edit. Or even before the book is live at the retailer, you could go in and down here for the title, you could create a description. So you could say, new book, back of ebook. So if that's where you're putting this particular link, maybe you'd give it that title. And then, like I said, once the book is live at the retailer, you can go in here and then you can do an Amazon link, and then you would just save it. So as you notice, as I hover over here, you get several different little icons here. So you have the pencil for edit, the green with the little share symbol there. If you click on that, it brings up this box. And then you have your statistics. So for example, let's go down to this one down here and we can take a look at the statistics. So this is a link I created to one of my books on Google Play when I was running a Father's Day sale, and you can see the number of hits all time. You can see when I created it and then how many hits I've had all time, the best day. You can get more details down here. You can get traffic location, so what countries were people in when they clicked here. You can get some more detail there, how many on each country. You can get your traffic sources. So direct traffic was 10 and referred traffic was 4. And then again, there's an option for sharing. So those statistics are one of the reasons why some people might want to use this instead of using something like the redirection plugin for WordPress. Now let's just go back to the admin interface for a minute. And I'll just talk a little bit about naming convention. And just so you can see here, my naming convention happens to be that usually the first couple of letters for the short URL represent the book. In this case, the next two letters represent the particular promo I was running, FD for Father's Day, and then GP is Google Play, and then I assigned it a code of 18 to indicate that this Father's Day promotion was in 2018. Something else you can do in YOURLS is you can do a search. So if you look up here, I have 943 links. So if I want to find a specific link or links for specific book, so I could do IT, and then I could search for in the short URL, and that would bring up all URLs that were for my book, War Intrusion, or that had something to do with War Intrusion. And I could also have limited it to showing links that have more than 0 clicks. So anything that had 0 would be left out of my search results. And you can do a search on a date range too. So again, a couple more reasons why Some people might prefer YOURLS. And then these plugins are handy. The bulk import and shorten is particularly handy if you're just getting set up. So you can go through and you can put in all of your long URLs, and I include my, where appropriate, I include my affiliate code links. So like those Kobo ones are like a gazillion miles long, but I put those in. And then I assign the short code, and then I upload those. So I had to do that when I moved all of my YOURLS links from a old install at my old web host to this new install. So that was very handy. And then I use this import-export mainly for the export feature. That's how I got my URLs out of the old install. And then it's also a way you can kind of keep it as a potential backup if something goes wrong. It just puts it into a CSV file for you. And then this popular clicks plugin is kind of cool. It will show me by day, what were the most popular clicks. So let's go and do a brief recap, because that is the end of this part of the demonstration. So in summary, the YOURLS app is another option for creating Evergreen links. You get great tracking and the ability to add a description. So that concludes this video. Next time, I'll talk about how to use Evergreen links in Vellum. Until then, happy writing. Bye.